Rose.
They're all under the age of like 8.
I am so glad you are here. It is alive. It is Wednesday, July 15th, 2026. Meet Wolly.
Hi, I'm Wolly.
And we are going to chat in just a bit. But let's start with our usuals. What are we drinking? What are we wearing? Have I managed to get a tea filter so I can tell you wonderful herbs to drink again? No, I got tea. Just black tea. I'll get there. I had to take her to my mom's 80th first. What are we wearing? Oh, look at the rings. Most of these are Tracy's Treasures, a limited supply item, but they're still at the old silver prices. So come grab them if you love them. Only one of these is not from Tracy's Treasures, by the way. So I've got some clear quartz cut pieces. I've got a labradorite that's cut. I've got this beautiful little lily. Love these guys. So Tracy's Treasures. I don't know if you remember Tracy, but she was the owner of the Eye and the Eye of Horus for a very long time. And she has retired. And she has done some reading for us here. We love her. And she brought us her rings, which we have been selling for her. And I love that.
They're gorgeous rings. I love the labradorite. That's my favorite.
Oh, me too. I just think the color is amazing on that one. They did a great job. Whoever cut it and set it did an amazing job. What's going on? What's happening? What's next? Okay. This Saturday the 18th, Practical Magic with probably Daryl. That's at 3. You can find that on our website if you want to pre-register. It is a by donation class. So you've got suggested registration amounts there for you. If you feel like you are not flush and you can afford very little, that's there for you. If you're like, I'm so flush, I can afford to help someone else out because they didn't pay much. You can do that too. It's all good. That's going to be the case with all the donation classes. On Sunday, the 19th, this coming Sunday, get your Reiki 1 on if you're ready for it. I know there's somebody coming for Reiki 1 or 2 people, something like that. So we'll have some fun with that. Story time will be at 3, of course. Bring the kids. We've got this great kids section of books right now. And so happy to be showing them off to you guys. Neighborhood Herb Walk is at 4 on Sunday the 19th. If you want to learn about the lore and the traditional medicine of some of the plants that are here in the area, what lives by us? What says, I want to help you? Come to the class. It's another by donation class. You can check it out on the website. The QR code will get you, the QR code will get you right there. Yesterday and next Tuesday and Tuesday after that and a whole bunch of Tuesdays coming up, Herbs 1, that class will be starting up again in September. If you're interested, you can find more information on that. And of course, Herbs 3 is tonight. I'm so looking forward to it. We're getting close to the end of Herbs 3. Very exciting. These guys are so knowledgeable. It's so much fun to watch them work. They don't even know what they know. It's sort of amazing because you'll ask them a question. Well, what would you do about this? And they come up with an actual answer. And they're like, I didn't know I knew that. It's kind of amazing. It's kind of fun. It's sort of like when you've attended a ritual over and over and over again, and you don't think you have it memorized. And then you just say the bit because you know what comes next. It's that kind of phenomenon right now. Saturday the 25th, so a week from this coming Saturday, Magical Astrology. That's Adam's amazing astrological magic class. You're going to want to check that out. It's another by donation. Sunday the 26th, that's our Reiki share hour. So come on in and get your Reiki on. If you're a Reiki 1, 2, or 3 and you just want to hang out, talk Reiki, trade services, we're here for it. 1 o'clock, Theurgy. Basics of Theurgy is coming up. That's going to be taught by Ravenwolf. That is going to be a blast, that class. You will love it. Really well-informed dude. At 3, we have story time again because it's Sunday. And at 4, we have Palmistry 101. You do not need to attend those classes in any kind of order. And both the Theurgy basics and the Palmistry 101 are, again, by donation classes. Yay, love those. That takes us through the rest of this month. So I'm just going to remind you to pick up your Black Willow Starling tickets for the show on Thursday, October 8th. It's $15. I think that's a great deal for a set of music from them. We're talking about hour 15 or so of just the music. So come into town, have dinner, yeah.
Or a busy bookstore.
It's going to be fun. And as always, the note at the bottom is parking. If you cannot park on the street, you are welcome to park in most of the residential areas, but St. Clement's Church, which is on Lowry, just west of Central, on the south side of the block. So you'll be parked about a block's walk from us. That's free. And they are happy to have us park there. You will naturally park very far away from the church because you want to be close to us. So their people will be able to park where they need to park, and you can park where you need to park. It's perfect. It's a beautiful relationship, I tell you. So I don't forget, I brought in the actual sign. Who's reading? When can you come in? Who can you see? Let's go by reader. If you would like a reading from SUS, palmistry, or tarot, he's here all afternoon on Sundays. The whole time we're open from noon to 12. He's here Wednesdays, the whole afternoon, noon to 12. Noon to 6. Can't really be open from noon to 12. That would be awkward. Be like, you'd miss it in just a second. But yeah, noon to 6 on Sundays, noon to 6 on Wednesdays, noon to 6 on Fridays, and then noon to 3 on Saturdays, because he splits that day with Margaret. Margaret is our tarot reader who's only here once a week. If you want a woman's perspective on your tarot reading, you want to come on Saturday from 3 to 6. That's it. That's the only time she's here. Daryl is doing oracle readings. He's first in on Mondays from just noon to 2. That's it, because he's then followed up from 2 to 6 by Morpheus, who's here for wonderful dream interpretation. Daryl's also here from 3 to 6 on Tuesdays and noon to 3 on Thursdays. Raven Wolf is here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. He is also an amazing, amazing tarot reader. He's here noon to 3 on Tuesday and 3 to 6 on Thursday. That's the readers. They're fantastic. You can call in and prepay for a reading. You can stop in. There's no need to make a reservation. Just come on in. It's always fun. Join the party.
So many cool events. Your store is booked, if you will.
We are having fun. I like it when it's a party. I like it when we get to have fun. You have been observing Chris, if you've been watching these lately, Chris painting the trunk behind us. The trunk is, we can see it. I know you guys can't. It's right over there. Don't tell. But she's also brought in some other things that she's done. This is by far the favorite painting that she's brought in. This is the Ram. $39.95 for a original piece of artwork. The other pieces are either this price or a little lower. Come check them out. She's got a setting sun. She's got polars, all kinds of things. I love the Ram. I think it's particularly beautiful, and I am not alone in that assessment. So if you are looking to bring Aries energy into your life, or if you are an Aries and you would like a Ram to show that off, this is the perfect painting, I think. She also, however, she does so many things. So when she comes, she always brings lots of treasures. These beautiful boxes, these are reclaimed boxes that she finishes with art. And I want to tell you, sometimes it's worth looking inside the box for just a little extra zhuzh, a little extra treasure. Some of the boxes she doesn't retouch because they're gorgeous. This would be one example, but most she has done a little decoupage to, added some things. We've got a beautiful stag box. There's some that have leaves printed on them. They're fantastic. She also does reclaimed jewelry. And her mirror pins are now back in stock. So if you are looking, I only grabbed a few of them to show you, but we have plenty. Oh, not you though. Come here, you silly. Here's another one. So all kinds of different styles. This time it's all pins. And if you want to be, and this necklace, and if you want to be a little guarded about what you're sending back, this one it's a mirror, but it's kind of behind this beautiful filigree little cage. I love that. This one happens to be a necklace though. And we also have from her these little decorated wands. She takes crystals and she finishes off the wand, otherwise leaving it in a fairly natural state. It's stripped down, it's smooth. She sanded it down a little, so you're not going to get a splinter handling it, which is lovely. But the real point of her work is these little ends and occasionally some little wraps like this one's got here. All kinds of little styles. And these are $29.95. I know. I've shown you wands that are $125 to $150, and these are $29.95. Those involve a little more time and a little bit more work, but they also look more intentional, more ceremonial, a little less natural magic-y. So if you're wanting something that's got a little bit more of that natural magic touch, I'm going to recommend Chris's wands. I think they're beautiful and very effective at getting that energy going. So that's her work. I want to show you one other thing that I did show you before. I admit it, I have shown it to you before. It's not brand new, but it's pretty new. Look at this. This is Liber Lepus.
Hi.
By Wolly. And I know I've even opened this up and gone, look, there's cool stuff in here. You should check it out. These are fantastic. They are $15, which for full color cartoon type thing is, animation, fantastic, especially small print run. And you get to support the local peoples.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to make Liber Lepus? What is it?
Initially, I had a comic called Mystic Blah Blah.
I like that name.
Yes, it was inspired by the Mystic Kabbalah.
Mm-hmm.
And this idea of these cartoon characters exploring the tree and having different misadventures as they go along the way to try to solve these different issues. And then it turned into an animation, and now it's a comic and an animation. It turned into an animation called Deep States, which was made to kind of make fun of kind of the state of things lately, while also having a lot of magic inspiration.
Nice. Very nice.
So we make those comics to support the animation. There are people who support us on a monthly basis on Patreon and Ko-Fi. So we want to give our supporters as much as we can.
Yes.
So we make stickers, zines, and they get production credits as well.
Yes, I did. Like, seriously, you get production credits if you're a supporter. It's actually pretty cool. So what is the goal with this wonderful artwork? What are you hoping that people will, glean from the enjoyment of this stuff?
There's this comic I really like called Liber Lepus on Webtoon, but now it's print. And it follows kind of like a modern retelling, and also she does her own thing with it of Hades and Persephone.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about it was it had me in a chokehold. She was releasing them on a weekly basis, and you had to spend these coins on the app to buy them. And I was like refreshing it every week. Because even though they were like magical and they had her own magical interpretations of these different Greek gods and stuff, it was still a soap opera.
Yeah.
And I was obsessed with that.
You want to see the next chapter.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's the whole point of a soap opera, is to get you involved.
Yeah.
Right?
I love soap operas. I also love comedies a lot. I like horror, which is very big in my work, is horror. Because of shadow working and how I feel like when you are experiencing these different psychic phenomena, depending on different things, it can seem horrific at times as well.
Yeah. Well, and it also depends on how you're defining the pieces that you're playing with. Like an early exercise I was given was write down all of your personality traits and assign them to the 4 elements, just as a way of organizing, like, are you super watery? Are you super air-based? Let's see where you really lie. And you could do that with a lot of different formats. You could do that with a tree of life. It would be very easy. Mm-hmm. But one of the things we found was that you would write down assertive and aggressive. Well, they're the same thing. It's better in some contexts than others. And when it's a trait, it's assertiveness. When it's not a better trait, it's aggressiveness. So I think, when you're doing that kind of shadow work, it's always interesting to see what comes up and how it can be reframed so that you start using it in a more positive way. Because it is sort of, these personality traits, these issues that come up, they are just part of who we are, right? Mm-hmm. So I think it's fascinating work. I love shadow work.
We were working on a cartoon with a friend called Cucumber and Mr. Hats. And it was about a girl with cucumbers for eyes because she's asleep and she's a dreamer. Mm-hmm. And her best friend was a sleep paralysis demon named Mr. Hats. So it was really fun to be able to like kind of explore like different dreamers having their nightmares, but solving those nightmares through just looking at them and not being afraid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. And our founder, Roger, has talked about his paintings, which we are currently kind of surrounded by. I would turn the camera, but it's a laptop. It would be awkward for you guys. I'm sorry. But he has referred to painting as each painting exercises a demon, whether it's a demon you know well and work with well, and you have like taken in that shadow side and reworked it into the light, or whether it is a demon that you haven't faced yet and maybe weren't sure you were ready to.
For sure. Art is it's got a lot of built-in meditation. Yeah. Just the amount of time it takes and the concentration, and sometimes it's frustrating, sometimes it's fun. Usually it's mostly fun. And that kind of helps you be able to let things out similarly to in a ritual when you have these practices and you have your dress and your environment and the people around you and the things that you're saying and doing put you in this kind of trance to be able to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's sort of amazing. One of the most amazing things about it. I also think that in both cases, there's a gradual increasing self-acceptance, not just for like, yeah, sometimes I do get too aggressive instead of assertive, but also just of your own limitations. This isn't, my forte is not painting hands. My forte is painting suns and moons and flowers. And okay, I'm going to work on hands, but I'm going to sell a lot of suns and moons and flowers.
Yeah, for sure.
As you grow and you gain more skill, you get better at these things. But we all always are going to have those little limits. And self-acceptance, I think, is part of magic working. And I think it's part of art as well. I don't think you have a choice.
And the mediums are kind of like the magical tools, right?
Yeah.
Like with painting, it's like you have your brushes and your paints and your water and the environment that you're in. And if it's dry or humid or hot or cold. And then with animation, which is a type of film, then there's like a y-axis, a z-axis, a q-axis, a d-axis, and it can get pretty crazy pretty quickly.
And I'm sure that the mood you're in that day changes that shade choice you make. And then you look at it 3 days later when you're in a completely different mood and you're like, what was I thinking? We're going to change that right now.
I do find myself more judgmental up front. And then in 2 years, I'm like, you go, girl. I'm so proud of you.
Good. Yeah. You should be.
But they, when they originally made animation or discovered animation and started to develop it as a medium, which was the first film, they figured out that we can only really see 12 frames per second. Or 24, depending.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we're not robots. So when our frames start and end is slightly different for each individual person.
Okay.
So they only animate at 12 drawings a second because they feel like they've used this to be able to assess how much work you need to do in order for people to see or think that they're seeing motion. Yeah. So we have 60 frames per second. It keeps going on. It seems smoother, but we don't necessarily need that because we don't need that many frames.
Your mind will fill in and make it more fluid than perhaps it actually is at 12 frames per second.
Yeah. But I have experimented with hiding things at what would technically be less than a frame. And some people see them and some people don't. And that's been really interesting.
I think that makes a lot of sense because eyes seem to still be changing and shifting. They're talking about discovering new types of cones in the eyes. There's all kinds of changes. That seems to be an area where we're not done progressing.
Yeah.
I don't know if the brain is going to get much better. But I have my fingers crossed. But eyesight, I think it's changing. I think it's going to keep changing. I think it's going to be really interesting because I have to wonder what then in a few hundred years, someone looking at that 12 frames per second is actually going to think.
Yeah.
And how they'll interpret what we were like because I would just assume that the person from 300 years ago was seeing what I could see. And if that's not the case anymore, I think it'll be fascinating.
And the work itself could be changed through the passage of time because we think of the internet as being forever. We think of data as being forever. Now everyone's CDs are starting to rot. Yeah. They didn't know CDs could rot, and it's really no running away from death.
Yes, art always needs to be recycled and redone because pieces change over time and we change away from where we were at when the pieces were made, and it matters. It's another reason why beginners books never go away.
Animation does take a long time, so sometimes I worry that the animation will not meet its moment by the time it's done, but then this thing will happen where culture will cycle.
Yes.
And then I'll be like, oh, this works again.
Yes. Yeah.
For better and for worse.
Yes. Very much like, what do you mean bell bottoms are back in or peg leg jeans are back? No, we did that. We should be done.
Yeah.
It comes back around. I don't know what to say. It's good. It's like we live in a cyclic world. I don't know.
Yeah. Back in January, we made a bunch of cartoons and animation about these magical girls who were best friends, and but they could also hack and do all kinds of stuff like that with computers and whatever. And they were fighting up authoritative governments
Cool.
who
I like
were
this.
invading neighborhoods and abducting people's neighbors and stuff.
Very cool.
And and then they would like beat the crap out of them. And then we made a bunch of more animation about that, and we're like, oh, I don't know if this is going to resonate as much still. And now we're finding that it's resonating again. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's going to resonate on and off for a while. I hate to say that. I wish that also was not true, but I think, yeah, we're going to see it come up again and again as protests continue and don't get covered.
Yeah.
Not that I feel strongly about any of those issues.
So Peter J. Carroll is going to be in our next animation.
Yay!
Rest in peace.
Yes, he did pass away not too long ago, but you guys did work with him directly.
Yeah, several times. I actually have a couple of things recorded with him that I'm working on that feel interesting to. Because when you're animating, you're listening to his voices over and over again and scrubbing on the timeline and drawing, and it's kind of haunting because someone I'm related to that I love very much passed away, and he did voice work and animation. And it's
wow.
Yeah, I'm collecting ghosts now at this point.
Yeah, definitely. So when is that one going to be released?
We're hoping to get it done by the middle of next month. It's a longer episode. It's going to be 11 minutes long. Wow. It features the characters in the zine that you have. It's kind of like I grew up Catholic, but my mom was Irish American Catholic, which means we believe in fairies. So, but like we just like don't acknowledge that that's what
it's
you're
just part
doing.
of the conversation. Yes,
I was always with her, and she would teach me how to like talk to plants, and a tree was like my best friend when I grew up for a second there.
Very cool.
When I was like a baby.
Yeah,
I was always in the mud, always with like honeysuckle and whatever. But then like we were Catholic, so it was confusing because it was like the Catholic paradigm, but there's like Irish Catholic paradigm is almost like there's almost like these unspoken kind of oral traditions that get passed down.
It's completely different. No, I am not from Minnesota. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm not from here. And my grandparents came over. My mom was 12. My grandmother's Irish, my grandfather English. And we were on the East Coast for a very long time.
That's where I'm from.
So we went to a lot of Irish Italian Catholic churches because that's what the neighborhood was built on. And then we moved to Minnesota. And we walked into our first Catholic church here about 9 months after, actually, because we lived in one town for 9 months. Then we moved to another part of the state. It was a German Catholic town. It was a German Catholic church. And it was weird. There's nothing wrong with it. It's fabulous. Do not get me wrong. It's just not the same. It's just weird to go from one to the other. Just the presence as soon as you walk in feels
that was my experience.
Completely different. And lo and behold, my parents weren't great Catholics for a long time after that. It was just weird. They made sure we had, not Sunday school in Minnesota, it's CCD. I went to Sunday school and then I went to CCD.
Was it Philadelphia?
No, I'm from Brooklyn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm from Pennsylvania.
Okay,
so.
Very nice. So is the other Liz here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
PA, Keystone. But yeah, the Italian and Irish Catholic
zeitgeist.
Yeah, I mean, like they're like it's not just Catholicism. It's like each family has their own thing. Like my mom, her patron saint is Saint Anthony. Like she has a Saint Anthony candle. Like that's her special saint. Like, but yeah, I grew up in that, and then also grew up in a very like magical space because my home that I grew up on used to be a mushroom farm.
Oh wow!
So every year there were these mushrooms that would grow in a circle, and they would grow bigger and bigger. And it was just very interesting. Like I would talk to the trees, and I felt like a tree told me to go to my neighbor's yard, and that there was something cool over there. And then there ended up being like a tree house. But yeah, I'm really inspired by like I don't know if it's like paganism or just like nature magic or like fairies, and then like kind of reckoning that with like the familial oral tradition of Catholicism, and then also the kind of nefarious associations with Catholicism, because I mean if you're into magic you have some sort of Christianity trauma somewhere that you've dealt with along the line somewhere, right?
Quite often, yeah.
So this is kind of exploring all of that. The main character is voiced by Tommy Kelly, who's an Irish occultist. He does chaos magic. He made the 40 Servants, which is a oracle deck that's really cool. And So he got to play the main character, which is cool because he got to introduce me, or he was a really important part of a specific chaos magic community that I got into that kind of led me down my path of what I'm interested in. So then I got the oldest priest to be played by Peter J. Carroll. So for me, the episode 3 is kind of like a lineage, a respective lineage for me, but for the viewer, it's just sort of like a silly tale of some priests and cariness.
That sounds good. That sounds excellent. And for those of you who don't know, Carol was like the granddaddy of chaos magic in many ways. So the books are still read, they're still in print, well respected, great guy, and clearly incredibly kind because he went, why, yes, I would love to volunteer to voice a character in this enthusiastic person's work.
He was very kind to do that. And, he asked me what it meant to me. And I was like kind of nervous. I was like, I'm just gonna cry my river real quick. And I'm just very honest. I was like, can I have your current? And he was like, let's go, let's do it. Yeah. So, and then to have Tommy Kelly be able to do voice as well.
That's amazing.
Was very cool because, it was a direct line, and then the environment is kind of like where I grew up, or what it felt like growing up, which was very green and glowy and naturey, and it's like these Catholic people, but the environment is like blue and like different sort of nature spirits like that.
That sounds amazing. I've seen some of the online stuff. I've read 3. This is the first one in color. I have read 3 of these. The other 2 are black and white, and they're equally fabulous. We only have this one. I'm very sorry, but we only have this one. If you would like to see more, WollyMight online, and you will find it. And then you also get to watch then the animation itself, which is even better. This one, no, not this one. The previous one was full of some of the correspondence you had with Carol, correct?
Yeah. That's a zine I don't sell to people. I just give it to supporters. Okay. So,
and that was a fun one to read.
Yeah,
I got to tell you, I liked reading that one. That was a lot of fun. But all right, so how did you get from being a good Catholic? I mean, I know how I did it. Really, my parents sent me to Catholic high school, and that was it for me. But how did you get from being a good Catholic girl all the way to where you got to now?
I grew up Catholic, but I was a baby, so my mind is very open and creative, and I had a mom who was constantly gardening and getting me to help her garden, and like being very creative and teaching me like art. She used to like take furniture off the side of the road and turn it into like Victorian furniture.
Wow.
She was amazing with her hands, like just an incredible artist. So I just think I really looked up to her, and I thought she was really cool. But she was Catholic. And so as I'm getting older, I'm getting kind of confused. And then of course, being a girl and existing in America, things happen. And so you're like, wait, am I going to go to hell for that?
Yeah.
So I thought I was going to go to hell for, and then that kind of spiraled me kind of like through some darkness, or that was kind of like the introductory chapter to some more. And then everything is so demonized, you know what I mean? So when we went to go get my Catholic confirmation, I told my mom, and she's so proud of me for this now, but this was like devastating back then.
I'm sure. I have a feeling I know what's coming.
I said, confirmation is a declaration of what you believe in. Yep. And it's funny because in every faith, every magical practice, there is some sort of version of this initiation.
There's that moment, yeah.
And I respected the initiation as being real.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I don't know if I believe in this anymore or at all, or if I ever did, I'm not sure. And for me to go up there and proclaim this as my faith would be like not only a lie, but it would be like perverse because it would be going against what the act of doing that is. And so my mom was, of course, devastated from that. Yeah.
Yes.
And she met me well. I was never mad at her about that. Yeah. And now she's super proud of me. It's like a story she tells when we are with our family. And then I would play with tarot cards and like books and stuff, not doing anything seriously because I'm a very young teenager by this point.
Yeah. And unconfirmed, correct?
What do you mean?
You did not go through confirmation?
I did not go through a confirmation. I did find a saint named Polly, though, and my real name is Molly, so we thought it'd be funny to be Molly Polly. So the Discordianism was already in the beginning.
So you were looking at 2 Catholic children. We've never become adults, and I love that.
So you didn't get your confirmation either?
My parents said it was up to me. And I, of course, at that point was in the middle of Catholic high school. It's over.
I went to Catholic elementary school and kindergarten, and the one happens before kindergarten. Is there one? Preschool. Yeah. And then I was dyslexic, so I had to go to public school because they didn't have the resources to teach me how to read. Yeah. But so tarot cards were demonized, and then so I would experiment with learning tarot and other things like that, and then
frankly, a more visual way of interpreting the world. It's going to be more fun than reading if you have a reading disorder. That makes sense to me.
So there was definitely some judgment from that, and then also kind of coming off of like I'm actively in my early 20s trying to convince myself that I'm like not evil because like I thought I was like gonna go to hell.
Yeah.
But I went to an art school and there was a group of Christian kids there who once they found out, because I made a tarot deck. I made a tarot deck in my early 20s and I sold it to people on Facebook through a Facebook group because I started getting involved with chaos magic and learning about that. And that's when things really took off for me. And all the Christian people, like in the specific group, ignored me and acted like I wasn't there because they were like scared of someone who, it's like one thing to read tarot, but to make it.
You must know too many arcane secrets.
So when you learn chaos magic is kind of like the punk derpy cousin of the Lima, and then their uncle is like like Golden Dawn. He's like, what are you kids doing? You know what I mean?
Very true.
So I learned a lot about the Lima. Then I got I had a teacher that initiated me into the what would be like a crazy person's version of like the AA, the Lima initiation, looking through life. And I was like, this is starting to get out of hand because I started getting involved in the world of wizards. And when you get involved with the world of wizards, you meet a lot of really cool people, but it can also get overwhelming if you're learning.
Yes.
So I learned a lot about the Lima,
sure.
I learned a lot about ceremonial magic, learned a lot about voodoo, and everything for me came from a philosophy that I was starting to pick up and really fall in love with, of chaos magic, which is being able to hold multiple paradigms. Because for me, it was like I had these different paradigms that were holding me back and not helping me, where it was like, am I going to go to hell after I die? Is magic not even real? I knew magic was real, though, because in my late teens, it just it's real.
Worked.
It's real.
Yeah, if you find that it works and works fairly consistently, you're like, yeah, okay, it's worth taking the time to do this stuff because I get the results I want out of it.
And then it really locked in for me the idea of having more than one paradigm at one time, and that's okay, and that things that are contradictory don't need to be contradictory. Like they can exist at the same time. So like maybe it doesn't matter if there is no God, or there's multiple gods, or I am God, or God's a symbol, or we are all God, or like maybe all these things can be kind of true at the same time, and they're not conflicting necessarily.
Right.
And that's when I locked in. And that's when I locked in with animation. Specifically. I did go through like a period of like trying to see like what other people, what that made them comfortable. I was lucky enough to hang out with the people at the Arcana Lodge over there. They let me in. I got to have some like sausage or whatever, and they showed me around. They showed me the things, and like they were telling me about different parts of the building. And like one guy like walked in, they were like, "Leave the room, John. You're not supposed to know this yet." You know what I mean? I was like, "Oh, this is like basically like an initiation without the you know." And people at the OTO, of course, they're always nice.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
the Leaping Laughter Lodge
Fantastic.
people, they let
lodge,
me
yes.
in, and
Yep.
they let me do a chaos magic initiation thing. They let me do an event. They played my animation there.
Nice.
And of course, very generously, they do everything else that they do that I participated in for a couple months to a year.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, and then of course the pagans in the Minneapolis area are just I don't even need to.
It's a huge community here. Yeah.
And
There's
they're
a
all
lot of
nice.
people. Yeah.
And the Satanists are nice.
Yeah.
Everyone is just incredibly kind around here.
I
And
think so. Yeah.
I moved here because I fell in love with my collaborator, and then I ended up just having more community with, and not just with magic, with art too, just like everything.
Yeah.
Because there's a huge animation scene
Yes,
around
there
here,
is.
painting scene.
Mhm.
It's just Minneapolis is incredible, and it's really
This is true.
it's
Yeah.
it's helped me as a magician, and I grew into a woman. And then also I got my frontal lobe,
Okay.
and then getting my frontal lobe and accepting that multiple things can be true at the same time,
yes.
and locking in on animation. Things started moving for me.
That sounds perfect.
So yeah, there are a lot of bumps. As I'm sure there are bumps for everyone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, nature, the mind, a lot of psychedelics in my teenage years, and facing things that were scaring me, and then like learning to like just not be scared and to have fun, and then to turn it into a cartoon.
That's perfect. Yes, yeah, you gotta have some fun. I'm sorry, but it's a requirement in life. If nothing is fun, change your life. If you get nothing else out of today, it's not fun, forget it, please. We can move past it, really. But yeah, no, I think that's a fascinating perspective on how to move forward. That idea of you're going to play with those things that are in the shadows. You're going to get to know yourself better by virtue of doing that and finding the strengths in those things that looked scary before you really delved into them. So congratulations on all of it. It's a fantastic thing. Again, WollyMight is what you want to look up on YouTube and the socials, and Patreon her by all means. And there is, by the way, another side to the story. But the other half of WollyMight quietly sitting off camera, providing emotional support.
Yes.
A fabulous human being as well. I just want to emphasize, just so you all know.
Yeah, Michael's why I moved here. He reached out to me to work on a romance comic about a witch who is disguising herself as a cat that a coffee shop owner feeds every day, and then she thinks he's cool actually, so they fall in love.
That sounds like a fun story.
Yeah, and then it very quickly became a vehicle for us because he owned an ice cream store at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, in Northeast.
In North.
It was called Crepe and Spoon.
Oh, very cool. I had no idea. Sorry, I'm staring at you. Can't see him. I apologize. That's not me. But that's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
So, but now it's all WollyMight, and you're going to go see it online, and you're going to come here, and you're going to get to buy this amazing comic book, which I only have like 4 or 5 copies. I don't have that many copies, so hot off the presses, come grab them while you can. And of course, since I've got to wrap up because it's almost time I have to stop, I want to do the thing. You know the thing. If you watched this far before, thank you so much for being your amazing magical you. All of us here at Magus Books, we love that about you. How can we not? And of course, we appreciate the little magical things you can do right here in social media land. I know you know what they are. Go ahead, do the hypey thing, push the little buttons, do the subscribe, do the likes, do leave the comments. It's always fun. And you're right. I didn't even notice it. But yes, we all need that emotional support human. You are right. And we are very happy that he is here. And I hope you have a good one too. Hopefully you'll get to see us here again at some point, and that we'll get to see you either on the website at magusbooks.com or here in the shop in Northeast Minneapolis, in the Northeast Arts District, actually, which is so much fun for us. Come by, check out this place if you have a chance. Join the party. We love it here, and see you online. Blessed be, everybody.
Bye.